You suddenly travel back in time to ancient Rome. Do this to survive. First, if you try to live a normal life, everyone will realize you don't speak Latin and don't know how to behave like them. They would think you are crazy and would want to burn you at the stake. So you will choose someone from the crowd and challenge him to a duel to the death in the Colosseum. One day before the duel, you will grab a few ingredients and make a favorite food recipe. Easy, but extremely tasty for that time. When the time comes, you take out the dish and offer it to your rival. Since he will love the food, he will offer it to the boss. In this way, the Caesar will spare your life and you will be the new Caesar.
If you get off the subway but your backpack gets stuck in the door, don't waste time trying to pull it out. Focus on slipping out of the backpack or you'll be dragged to death. If you're at the movies and a thief is recording the film, don't yell at him. Instead, on your phone, show his seat number. That way, the thief's number will be recorded and the police can arrest him. If you're getting a haircut and feel a sneeze coming, be careful and don't move. If you make a sudden move, they could cut one of your ears. If you're buying a suit for your wedding, tell the salesperson that the suit is to work as a waiter and not for your wedding. It'll be cheaper because it isn't a wedding suit.
If you're lost in the mountain, look for plants and hide in a cave. If you start a fire, you won't freeze to death during the night. If you're going to school but you live in a dangerous neighborhood, put your book bag inside your shirt. Thieves will think you're fat and they won't rob you. If you're stupid and you're vegan, don't go to a barbecue with your friend. You won't be able to eat and you'll look ridiculous. If you're dying of thirst and find dirty water, look for bamboo sticks. If you filter the water through the hole of the canes, you'll have clean water.
If you live in a dangerous neighborhood, wear poor-looking clothes that are as dirty as possible. You will make the thieves pity you, and they won't rob you. If someone is looking at your phone, open the front camera. The nosy guy will see himself on the screen and will look ridiculous. If a murderer enters your house, turn off the lights and put a couple of pillows under the blanket. The murderer will think that you're sleeping, and you will catch him. If you see that your car has a broken window, don't go in and call the police. There is a homeless person living inside your car. If someone throws eggs at your windshield at night, don't use the wipers and just keep driving. This is a trick used by criminals to confuse drivers. If you're at the beach and the water suddenly recedes, run away and look for high ground as fast as possible. This is a clear sign that a tsunami is coming. If your house is haunted, start charging the ghost a really high rent. It will run out of money and will have to move to a cheaper place. If a bear attacks you in the middle of the forest, start dancing and clapping. The bear will get confused and think it is a circus show.
If you're moving into a very tall building, never live above the 20th floor. If there's a fire in the building, the 20th floor is the highest that firefighters' ladders can reach and they won't come up. If you're getting robbed and the thief has a very big belly, don't try to defend yourself. He is hiding a little person inside his belly that'll attack you. If you're at the gym and run out of strength to lift the bar off you, just tilt the bar to one side so that the discs fall on the floor. If you're on the street and there's a violent fight, don't try to break it up or they will beat you up bad. Instead, call the police and enjoy.
You get to your first date with the one girl you like. Do this so you do not look ridiculous. Turn off your mobile. Don't put your elbows on top of the table and say a nice compliment looking into her eyes to break the ice. However, you're very confused because you don't know what to talk about. Remember, the important one is her, not you. Ask her about all her hobbies. Try hard to make her laugh, but above all, never talk about your ex-girlfriends because then she will beat you up very badly. On the other hand, avoid eating difficult dishes that can stain your clothes and chew with your mouth closed without making sound. If you drink soup, remember that the spoon goes to your mouth and not the mouth to the spoon. Finally, when the waiter comes and brings the bill, take out your wallet, pay for her meal, and subscribe to Big Dan Baby.
Your best friend calls you in the middle of the night. She's crying because she thinks she's going to fail tomorrow's test. This is what you do. You tell her to stop crying and take a pencil, a piece of paper, and her notes. Now she won't just read them over and over again. Instead, she's going to copy the notes of the hardest lessons, leaving some blank spaces in between. 30 minutes later, she needs to pick a red pen, and she will try to complete the whole sheet without checking her notes. You tell her to go over the notes that she forgot and to subscribe to Big Dan Baby.
Unethical ways to make money. Search on Google for old folk homes with dementia and apply for an assistant job. When you get hired, do your tasks like bringing their food, putting on movies and giving them their medicine. But at the end of the day, you have to create a video with artificial intelligence where you and one of the old people with Alzheimer's do things together, like celebrating birthdays, going fishing, or even crying together at a fake family member's funeral. Since the elderly don't know what AI is, they'll think that you're their nephew. If you show them these videos every day, they'll end up including you in their will, and when they die, you'll inherit all their money.
A man was quickly sucked up by a giant dryer and he became stuck. He was working for an industrial laundry, and the man, while trying to unclog the path that transports clothes to the machine, climbed up to press the stuck clothes and push them through. But he got tangled with a sleeve of a t-shirt, and no one could hear his terrifying screams for help. The temperature rose to over 300 degrees Celsius, and 20 minutes later, his co-workers found his body on the floor.
3 ships, armed with over 80 cannons, aimed at a military port. The captain had hostages to trade for medicine for his crew, but Blackbeard was so feared that he didn't even have to fight. It was said that he set his hair on fire to look like a demon covered in smoke, and sometimes he even challenged his crew to mix gunpowder into their drinks. And even though many of his sailors had various illnesses, he always treated them with respect. In his final battle, he fought against an army sent to kill him. It took 12 stab wounds and 5 gunshots to take him down. His head was cut off and placed on the front of the enemy ship, and they fired at his ship until it sank into the deep sea.
If you removed your lungs and drained all the blood and oxygen from inside them, many people believe that the contents would cover the surface of a tennis court completely. This fun fact has become very popular over the last few years, but in actuality, all of the matter in your lungs would only cover 100 square meters, and the actual size of a tennis court is 210 square meters. So therefore, your lungs would only cover a little less than half of the tennis court.
What's the best way to find the answer to any question during your test? The thing you won't do is answer the question. If you're feeling lost, put a star on it and continue with the exam. You have to become a clever detective and use other questions to figure out the answer. For example, who discovered America? You're not pretty sure what the answer is, but 10 minutes later, you come across another question. What year did Christopher Columbus discover America? Now you know that the answer to this question is Christopher Columbus.
If you're on a plane that's about to crash, many people think that the best thing to do is to curl up in a ball, but that's not exactly what you should do. Instead, it's better to lean forward and protect your head with your hand. This position will help you protect your vital organs and reduce the risk of a neck and head injury. By leaning forward, you also protect your spine from any impact, increasing your chances of surviving a high-risk situation.
If you're at home at night and a thief breaks in, turn off the light. You know your house much better than the thief. If you're lost in the desert, don't drink your own urine. You'll only end up even more dehydrated. If you've been kidnapped, you can call 911 and pretend you're ordering a pizza. The police will catch on and come to rescue you. If you're at the beach and the water starts to recede, get out of there as soon as possible. A massive tsunami is coming. You drop your phone and someone steals it without you noticing. Do this to try to get it back. When you realize your phone is missing, you try calling your own phone number, but no one answers. Using a friend's phone, log in to Find My iPhone or Find My Android and track your phone's location. If it's nearby, try to recover it. If it's somewhere unknown or dangerous, call the police. From the same app, lock the phone to prevent the thief from accessing your data. Also, report the theft to your phone carrier and request that they suspend the line to prevent fraud or scam. When you get a new phone, change your most important password, enable 2-step verification, and subscribe to Big Dan Baby.